You uncovered a gentleman, 24-year-old MIT grad. He turned $500 into more than 200,000.
Yeah, it's pretty remarkable. He did it through options, as one can. It's a leveraged bet. He also got the timing perfectly right. I mean, he got out last Wednesday. So he acknowledges it's mostly luck. And what I kind of found fascinating is, yeah, he made $200,000 in a few weeks. And this is a guy making like a $36,000 a year stipend, a grad student. But it was about the money, but it was also about the community and the rush he got just by being with others and taking on Wall Street. And I think that's as much of an attraction for some of these Redditors as it is just making the money.
Did he make the money or did he lose it? Is he still in the stock or the options position, or did he actually cash out and cash in?
Well, he got out, and you got to give him credit, but most of why he got out is his friends had a mini intervention. So here he was on the board hearing that it was going to go to 1,000. It was going to go to 5,000. And he was kind of bullish, and he acknowledges it went from sort of an intelligent trade. He believed in the company's turnaround to one where it was just sort of gambling, but he couldn't get out. He couldn't bring himself to get out. It was all he could think about. He was playing tennis with his friends, and he was literally checking his phone after every point. He couldn't bear to be torn away from the market. And then his friends kind of said, dude, you need the money. You should be getting out. And they kind of convinced him. They said, hey, would you put new, fresh money in at these levels? He said no. And he kind of realized, I got to get out.
$500 into 203,000, I think was a 40,000% gain. That, not Ackman, that guy, the greatest trade of all time. It wasn't Jim Paulson, it wasn't Ackman, it was that guy that you found. I don't know how you found him, but that's what you do best, Greg Zuckerman. Is there any correlation between, because this was always like about, let's get the hedge funds, right? Let's take down the hedge funds. So first off, looking at the trade size in GameStop the last few days, there are some big players in GameStop, big hedge funds doing huge block trades. I just want to throw that out there. Do you feel like there is any similarity at all between the worlds, or is this literally, let's go get them?
I mean, to the extent that the Redditors are sharing ideas, it's not unlike the idea dinners that we're all aware of, where hedge funds get together and they give ideas to each other. And to the extent that the small investor is sharing and thoughts and maybe their research, I think that's all really great stuff. But you do start getting worried when you start hearing people saying, hold on, don't sell. It's almost like a moral obligation. We're in this together. And you almost feel, and I know my investor that I talked about, he felt bad that he was getting out. He was letting down the community, which isn't really the proper way to be investing. That's quite emotional. You want to be taking the emotions out of it. And when people are urging you on and saying it's about more than making money, but it's about sending a message to Wall Street, when it's not clear what that message is. I mean, Citadel is one of the firms that these people are really angry at, and yet Citadel's probably doing among the best from all the trading, the Citadel's trading side. So it's not clear what the message they're trying to send is.
Well, I get the idea and I like it, except that, when you sell, there has to be a buyer. So if you're leaving the quote community, somebody new might be coming in. Also, the gentleman you've previewed, he now has 200,000 that he might be able to put into the market as opposed to 500 and help out the community in a bigger way. I'm not sure. And by the way, he's clearly not the only one, given GameStop's price action, that has sort of left that trade. What's your final take? Greg, you've been studying stock markets for so long. Is there a takeaway? The silver squeeze sort of went on for a day. Do you think there is a bigger, longer-term impact from this on the macro markets? Or will it be a single stock or single trade type story?
That's really the great question that we're all struggling with. Is it different this time? And part of me wonders, because we're in an age when there's easy money, be it for stimulus from the checks or stimulus from the Fed, and that's not going away. And you look at certain investments, be it Bitcoin, be it Tesla, and now you're seeing some of these investments where maybe a short term or maybe even a longer term period, the prices aren't necessarily in keeping with traditional metrics. And maybe we're going to be in this era when we have easy money continuing where here and there, you're going to have pockets of the market where people scratch their heads and throw up their hands. So one wonders if we're in that kind of era.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.